Welcome back to our weekly market wrap-up. Indian equity markets ended higher for the week, snapping a six-week losing streak as easing inflation data and upbeat global cues lifted sentiment. So stay tuned, and by the end of this video we'll unpack the key drivers behind these movements and what lies ahead. This week, the Sensex rose 740 points, plus 0.9%, to close at 80,598, while the Nifty gained 268 points, plus 1.1%, to end at 24,631. The rally was supported by softer CPI and WPI readings, which helped sustain gains despite midweek volatility from weakness in financial stocks. The broader markets, however, lagged as the BSE midcap slipped 0.2% to 44,979, and the small-cap index fell 0.5% to 51,789, signaling selective buying. Markets kicked off the week with a sharp rebound on Monday, but Tuesday's pullback briefly dragged the Nifty below 24,500. Gains returned midweek on positive inflation data and global sentiment, with Thursday's session ending marginally higher ahead of the Independence Day holiday. So stay tuned as we break down the key factors behind this turnaround and explore what could drive the markets in the coming week. Let's take a look at this week's key economic updates. In India, retail inflation, or CPI, eased sharply to 1.5% in July, down from 2.1% in June, marking the lowest level since June 2017. The decline was driven by a moderation in food prices. Wholesale inflation, or WPI, stayed in negative territory for the second straight month, coming in at 0.5% in July compared to 0.3% in June, led by lower prices of food, articles, mineral oils, crude petroleum and natural gas, and basic metals. This marks a two-year low for wholesale prices. Globally, on the external front, India's merchandise trade deficit widened sharply to $27.35 billion in July, from $18.78 billion in June, as exports fell to $37.24 billion, while imports rose to $64.59 billion. The gap widened due to higher inbound shipments and softer outbound trade momentum. Among this week's top gainers, HBL Power Systems jumped 27.1% to a 10-year high on strong buying interest, backed by robust order inflows and an improved earnings outlook in the power equipment space. JM Financial advanced 20.5% on sustained accumulation in financial stocks, with optimism over diversified revenue streams and healthy balance sheet metrics. SciLife Science gained 11.9% on renewed investor focus in pharma and life sciences, plays amid expectations of steady export growth and progress in the product pipeline. On the downside, the top losers, PG Electroplast, fell 34.9% after weak Q1 results, with heavy volumes signaling continued selling pressure in the consumer electronics segment. ACE declined 13.7% on ex-dividend adjustment and profit booking after recent gains, despite insider activity showing promoter confidence. Schneider Electric slipped 13.0% as investors booked profits after a strong run-up, with muted near-term triggers limiting upside momentum. In the unlisted space this week, Vikram Solar announced its IPO price band at Rs 315 to Rs 332 per share, about 14% below prevailing unlisted valuations, in a move aimed at broadening investor participation. Sterlite Electric secured orders worth Rs 1,500 crore in the green energy segment, strengthening its position in renewable infrastructure. Polymatech Electronics completed a Rs 1,000 crore PCB manufacturing facility in Estonia, targeting the defense and high-end mobile device markets to diversify its global footprint. Unlisted companies drawing high interest this week include Vikram Solar, Sterlite Electric, and Polymatech Electronics. That wraps up this week's market highlights. Here's what to watch in the week ahead. Markets may open cautiously as domestic cues remain stable and selective. Sectoral resilience supports sentiment. A light economic calendar at home may limit data-driven volatility, though global developments could take the lead. Domestically, the key event will be the release of India's July unemployment rate on August 18th, followed by manufacturing PMI, services PMI, and composite PMI data on August 21st. July readings showed strong momentum with manufacturing at 59.1, services at 60.5, and composite at 61.0, the highest since April 2024. Globally, focus will be on China's loan prime rate decision on August 20th and key US data, including building permits and housing starts on August 19th, FOMC minutes on August 20th, and existing home sales on August 21st. The Fed's last meeting saw rates held at 4.25 to 4.50%, with 2 members voting for a cut, a first since 1993. That's all for today. Stay connected with Ticona Capital for more insights and wealth-building opportunities from the themes of the decade. Explore more on ticonacapital.smallcase.com to know more. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next week.